Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Hani, your host for today's episode of the English Learning Podcast. I'm really happy you're here with me because today we're going to talk about something very important for your English journey. Today's topic is about training your brain to think in English. Now, you may be thinking, how can I really think in English? It may sound like something very hard, especially if English is not your first language. But trust me, it's possible. And once you do it, your English will get much better. When you start thinking in English, you will notice that you speak more smoothly, you understand more, and you feel more confident. It's like changing the way your brain works and making English your normal way of thinking. In this episode, we'll go step by step to show you how you can train your brain. It's easier than you think. By the end of today's episode, you will have real tips you can use every day to make thinking in English a habit. So no matter if you are a beginner or if you've been learning for some time, this episode will help you feel more confident when speaking. All right, let's talk about why thinking in English is so important. Why should you train your brain to think in English? Isn't it enough to just learn words and grammar? Good question. Let's look closer. First, thinking in English helps you speak more fluently. Fluent speakers don't stop and translate every word in their heads. They just say it. This is what happens when you think in English. You speak directly without translating. This makes talking quicker and more natural. Second, it helps you answer faster in conversations. If you are still translating, you may stop and feel nervous while searching for the right word. This can make speaking slower, but when you think in English, you find words faster and reply more easily. That makes your conversation smooth and natural. Third, it builds your confidence. Imagine if you could say your ideas in English as easily as in your first language. Wouldn't you feel more confident? That's what happens when you think in English. You won't worry about mistakes as much. You'll just share your ideas clearly. Finally, it helps your listening. When your brain is used to English thoughts, it's easier to understand others. You'll not just hear words, you'll understand ideas. You can follow conversations better and notice small details. So to keep it simple, thinking in English helps you speak more fluently, answer faster, feel more confident, listen and understand better. All of this means one thing: you will communicate better in English. And isn't that the goal? Now let's talk about how language and thought are connected. You may wonder, what does thinking in English mean? Is it just using English words in my head? Or is there more? Well, here's the truth. The language we use changes the way we think. When you use your first language, your brain uses words and ideas you already know. But when you switch to English, your way of thinking also changes. You start to see the world with English words and ideas. For example, let's say you describe a sunset in your first language. Maybe you have a special word for the colors or the feeling. In English, you may need different words. That makes you see the scene in a new way. This shows why thinking in English matters. You're not just translating, you're experiencing the world in English. That makes it easier to express yourself. Here's another example. If you're talking with someone in English and you're already thinking in English, you don't need to stop and translate. You understand naturally and reply quickly. Your brain is not working twice. It's only working in English. It's like a puzzle. Each language has its own way of solving it. When you think in English, you see the puzzle pieces fit more easily. You notice patterns in how English works, and that helps you use it better. And here's something cool. Research shows that people who think in the language they're speaking are more fluent and solve problems better. So the more you think in English, the easier it will be to talk clearly and fast. In short, Thinking in English makes your brain flexible. You can share ideas faster and feel more confident. Now let's get into real steps to train your brain to think in English. Don't worry, you don't need to change your thinking all at once. Just make small changes every day. Here are some easy steps you can start with. 1. Describe things around you in English. Look at objects, people, or places and describe them. You don't need to say it out loud. You can think it in your head. For example, this is a green book. It's on the table. The pages look old. 2. Think in English during daily activities. While cooking, cleaning, or walking, think about what you're doing in English. For example, I need to cut the vegetables. That man is wearing a red jacket. 3. Talk to yourself in English. When you're alone, try saying what you're doing in English. Example, I'm brushing my teeth. I'm putting on my shoes. It may feel funny, but it helps a lot. 4. Use English media. Surround yourself with English every day. Watch movies, shows, or YouTube in English. Listen to podcasts, psalms, or audiobooks. The more English you hear, the more your brain will use it naturally. The more you listen to English, the easier it becomes for your brain to think in English. Start with things you enjoy, like a TV show or podcast. Watch or listen without subtitles and try to understand as much as possible. This daily exposure trains your brain to hear and use English naturally. Soon, you will notice yourself thinking in English without even trying. 5. Practice with English speakers. To make bigger progress, practice with people who speak English. This could be a language partner, a friend who speaks English, or joining online language groups. When you talk with others, your brain must think and answer in English. This helps you practice fast thinking. If you don't know many English speakers near you, don't worry. You can still meet people through language apps or online chats. The important thing is to practice often, even just a few minutes daily helps. 6. Use an English notebook or journal. Another strong way to think in English is by writing. Keep a small notebook or journal. Each day, write a few sentences about what you did today, how you feel right now, or any thoughts on your mind. Writing makes your brain use English words and ideas. It also helps you remember new words. Don't worry if you make mistakes. The goal is practice, not perfection. With time, you'll notice your thoughts switching to English more often. Overcoming common problems. Now that you know the steps, let's talk about common problems and how to solve them. Feeling upset about slow progress. It's normal to feel upset when you don't improve quickly. But learning a language is like running a long race. It takes time. Celebrate small wins like understanding a sentence without translating, remembering a word on your own, having short thoughts in English. Tip: keep a progress journal. Write down small wins. After some weeks, you'll see big changes. Translating from your language. Many learners always translate in their head. To stop this habit, start with simple words that don't need translation, like dog or run. Use pictures or ideas instead of translation. Think in short phrases, not only single words. Not knowing enough words. Sometimes you get stuck because you don't know a word. Try this. Explain it with simple words you already know. Write the new word in a list to check later. Keep your language simple. You don't need big words to think. Feeling shy. At first, thinking in another language feels strange. Remember, no one can hear your thoughts. Mistakes in your head don't matter. The more you practice, the more natural it will feel. Advanced ideas for fluent thinking. When you feel ready, try these fun methods. Debates in your head. Ask yourself questions like, should I wake up early tomorrow? What is the best way to spend my weekend? Do I agree with this news story? Storytelling. Make small stories in your mind about people you see on the street, what your pet might be thinking, different endings for movies. Mental practice. Imagine real situations and practice English in your head. Ordering food at a cafe, asking for directions, explaining your job to someone, talking about feelings. Practice emotions in English. I feel happy because. This is hard because. I'm proud because I tried. Staying motivated. To keep going, try these tips. Set goals. This week I will think in English while cooking. I'll describe my meals in English 3 times. Create small reminders. When you open a door, say one English sentence. When your phone rings, think. Someone is calling me. Reward yourself. After a week of practice, give yourself a treat. Mark your streaks on a calendar. Change it up. Do different exercises on different days. Mix thinking practice with other English habits. Remember, learning to think in English takes time. Some days are easy, some days are hard. That's normal. The secret is to practice often. Even 5 to 10 minutes daily helps a lot. Be patient with yourself. Your brain is building new pathways when you think in a new language. With regular practice, you'll notice that English thoughts come naturally. Soon, you'll think in English without even trying.